good. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing nice. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're doing really good. Really nice. Really well. Really well. Yesterday on my community tab I posted, so I was thinking about game development and wondering how AI would improve that. Like, well, how would that work? I asked Rob, how long would the development cycle have taken if you were involved in whatever aspect you could have been involved in? Because Red Dead Redemption 2 took about 8 years to make. It took about 8 years to make. So, dropped in the calculus and it said 6.5 to 7 years. So, if you use 6.5, it would have taken a year and a half less time, which is amazing. To shave off a year and a half off of your development cycle is amazing. Think about that. You're saving a year and a half worth of time. That's a lot of time, guys, that you can dedicate to new projects. And yeah, as AI improves, that will only get better, right? The time will shrink, and it would be responsible for things like let's actually look at it. So, instant research and historical accuracy checks. So that would have been one thing it handles. Research and historical checks. So it could help with streamlining coding, testing, and debugging. It could help with generating procedural content for an open world, for the open world of Red Dead Redemption 2. Reducing the time for environment design. And then speeding up aspects like bug fixing and optimization. It says the artistic and narrative refinements. Oh, no. It says artistic and narrative refinements would still take considerable human effort and time, but it would be involved in like bug fixing and optimization. And then yeah, when you consider all those things, coding, data analysis, procedural generation, bug fixing, so on and so forth, you end up shaving off a year and a half when AI is involved in all those things. But the human aspect of things, so crafting the environment, stylizing it, dealing with certain details of the actual story, all that stuff, it would take as long as the humans would need. So that would depend on the human skill level and their speed and efficiency. But it was just interesting to think of. I actually asked Google Gemini, the same question. Google Gemini is decent. Google Gemini said I wouldn't be able to help. It would actually take more time with my involvement, which is not a good answer. It didn't even go into detail. So you see with Grok, like, it went into detail about what it would be doing, how it would be doing it, so on and so forth, like, and giving you timelines and all these sort of things, and going into it went into detail. I gave you a summary, but you can go to my community tab if you want to read the whole of what it's called. I posted it on my community tab. It went into detail about how to do it, right? Google Gemini, when I asked Google Gemini this question, it didn't really go into much detail. It just said it can't do it. It said it would actually increase the length of the project, which is, yeah, I believe it. I think Google Gemini would increase the length of the project, not decrease it. But I think Grok is really smart. ChatGPT is good too. I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT said it would take 5 to 6 years. So Grok said 6.5 years. ChatGPT said 5 to 6 years. Now it didn't go into as much detail as Grok did, which makes me wonder how accurate that 5 to 6 years is. Just because Grok seems to have a better understanding of what would actually go into the process. And also, the way ChatGPT framed what I was asking makes me think it did not understand my question, because it seems to think that it would be handling everything. Well, with some human involvement, but that wasn't all I was saying. What I was saying is like, whatever you could be involved in practically, like what makes sense for you to be involved in, how long would it take if you're involved in those things. It thought I said if you were just overseeing everything. I think that's what, because the way it answered back to me made it suggest that, the way it answered back to me suggested that it didn't understand the question. But anyway, regardless, it gave an answer. Grok gave an answer. Gemini was like, nah, it's gonna take me longer. So I've actually used, I still need to use ChatGPT a bit more. I've used Google Gemini quite a bit, and I've used Grok the most. If I was to rank the AIs, I'd say Gemini is lost. Third place of the three. I'd put ChatGPT second. But to be fair, I haven't used it that much. I use Grok more. But I just think Grok is smarter, because even if I did not misphrase my question, I think I asked it. Maybe I could have phrased it better, I don't know. But I feel like Grok just is so good at, even if you don't ask the question properly, it understands context, it understands the nuances of human speech, so it'll still give you the information you're looking for, even if you ask the question in a weird way. It understands what you mean. Just like if you're talking to someone, they would assume that, oh, this person probably means this, and then give you the information you're actually looking for. With ChatGPT, I feel like it can easily mistake what you're saying, and it's not always accurate to. I just feel like definitely Grok is the better of the three, but regardless, I think the future is AI, man. The future is AI, guys. People need to embrace this, because I whenever I talk about AI, there'll be someone in the comments talking about how evil AI is, and it's like, we need to get over that, because this is the future. We're in yet another revolution. You have the Industrial Revolution, and I think about the biggest revolutions, the main ones. I'd say the Industrial Revolution, and then the Internet Revolution, and now we're in the AI revolution. I think AI is going to be absolutely monumental in terms of how it reshapes society. So people need to get on board now while there's still time to learn and integrate it into your lives. Seriously, like, I was watching a video, this guy was talking about how he used AI to create his PowerPoint slide for him. Something that would have taken him days, took him like 40 minutes. It just streamlined his whole process and made it way more efficient and faster. And people need to start thinking that way, like, how can I use this stuff to improve my life? So, yeah, like, I think Grok is the best. Some people will be like, I don't like Elon Musk, he's the founder of XAI, which made Grok, and people don't like Elon Musk, so they'll say, I don't like Grok, which is so childish. You know what it's like? I don't like Bill Gates. I think Bill Gates is he's a dodgy character, and he's buying up farmland in India and making the Indian farmers' lives harder, and he's pushing many of them below the poverty line, just ruining lives over there, because he has his own vision of how the world should be run, and he's imposing that, these ideas about climate policy and all these things and how that should be. So he's messing with the lives of poor people and buying up their land and telling them how to farm, and it's having terrible, terrible consequences. And the Indian farmers routinely protest against this guy. You should Google Indian farmer protest. It's a big thing, but mainstream media doesn't cover it. Thousands, if not millions, of farmers protesting against this guy. I don't like it, but I'd be a fool. To sit here and say that Windows OS isn't a great operating system and Bill Gates isn't a genius for creating it. He's a genius. When it comes to software engineering, he's a bona fide genius, and Windows OS is the most popular computer OS in the world. Everyone uses it for their computers, and it's just great. There's no smear campaign you can run against Bill Gates to make me stop using Windows OS, because regardless of what he's up to, it's the best OS. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to use an inferior OS. And I have to give credit where credit is due. He made an amazing product. And it's making my life easier, and I'm grateful for it. So, we're thankful that Bill Gates made Windows. See, I'm not delusional, and I'm not an ideologue. I can give credit where credit is due. Unfortunately, when it comes to Elon Musk, some people at least are just they say he's dumb and he doesn't know what he's doing and he's a bad businessman, all these sort of things. Yeah, the richest man in the world is a bad businessman. And the guy who's sending rockets into space and all these sort of things, and he has a electric car company, and he's got the tunnel company, and he's making robots, and he's doing this and he's doing that, and he's got brain chips, and he's got this and that guy's he's dumb. He's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, come on, like, be serious. Give credit where credit is due. He's the real life Tony Stark. He's a genius, and you can put your personal feelings aside to admit that, just like I did with Bill Gates. Like, it's okay, guys. So put the feelings aside and use the best product, or which you think is best for you. And right now, I honestly think right now the best options are ChatGPT and Grok. I think Grok is the best of the three, of those two, and then Gemini's lost place. But yeah, hopefully they all improve over time. It would be nice to have options. So we should root for all of them to do well, so that we can have options. And yeah, I mean, the future is interesting. I think AI will take jobs, but it will also create jobs, just like the internet did. We have to get on board, people. We have to get on board. My mom is a furniture business owner. She has a furniture business, and she was telling me that in her line of work, in her industry, people her age, she's like 58, 59, God bless her soul, and bless her with many more years. She looks good for her age, but anyway, I digress. She's almost 60, and she says people her age in this industry, like, they don't like using the internet. They're very stubborn and rigid in their thinking, and they try to do things the old way, relying on word of mouth, and they're not really on social media like that, and the internet isn't integrated into their business. So they suffer as a result, because we're in the modern era in 2024. People want to go on Instagram, they want online delivery options, they want this, they want that. They want to be able to purchase things online without having to physically go to the store. All these sort of things. And when you don't have those options, you're just losing out on a lot of customers, right? My mom has a booming Instagram for her business, and she has a website, and she has a WhatsApp where she communicates with customers over WhatsApp consistently. Like, everything is just, the internet is such a big part of her business. She has Instagram and Facebook ads that run constantly, that put out there. That, guys, she's gotten a lot of customers from different cities. Like they don't even live in the same city, but they purchased her products and they get delivered to them. That wouldn't be possible without the internet. How would they know about her business? They wouldn't even know that she exists. But because of the internet, because of the internet, she has a wider reach. She can reach more people and she's making more money as a result. But when you're a dinosaur and you're like, no, I don't want this technology, I want to do things the old way, you get left behind, man. Everyone else is moving forward, you're still back there. There are a lot of businesses that still, they forget about the internet, they don't even have computers. They write the receipts manually by pen. I'm not even making it up. There's some people who still do that. Like they physically write out the receipts because they don't want to learn how to use the computers and these softwares that do these things for you through automation. They don't want to learn how to operate that stuff. And it's ridiculous, guys. You know? Some don't have card machines. Like, they don't have card machines at their businesses. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, some people are living like as if they're in the 90s, and then they're wondering why their businesses are suffering and they're about to close. It's because you're not embracing the times you're in. So, you have to kind of move forward and learn these things so that you can inherit in future prosperity and have a share in the future. So the AI is like people my age, I'm seeing people my age or younger even having negative sentiments towards AI. It's silly. You have to embrace it. It's just going to be a part of our lives going forward. And I think it's a very cool thing. I'm not mad at it. I think it's actually really interesting and cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. It's been helping me with my writing. It doesn't write for me. So with the book I'm writing right now, every single word, I've crossed the 80,000 word mark, by the way, with this book. Every single word in my book was written by me. There was not a single instance of copy pasting or anything like that. Every single word written by me. This is my work. What I am doing is using AI to learn. So for example, this is such a cool thing that I think, like, it doesn't feel real, but it's just such a godsend, it's a blessing, and it's making my job easier. So I don't know, the other day I was writing and I'm writing a pirate novel, right? So pirates, they sail on boats and sometimes they get caught up in storms and all these sort of things. So I was conceiving a scene where the pirate ship is in a storm and there's various conditions that they find themselves in, and I was wondering, like, wait, what would happen if the storm did this, and how would that affect the ship, and yada 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 yada. Now it was a very specific question that I was asking, right? I don't want to give too much away just because I want you to read it and enjoy it, like, from a fresh perspective. But it was a very specific question that I was asking, and if you were to ask Google that question, it would refer you to the internet, and you have to kind of sift through that wilderness, right, of information. Like, it's just so much that you have to pour through, and you might still not even get what you want. You might not get the answer to your question because it's such a specific niche question. With AI, it's not just pulling information from the internet. It's actually, in a way, thinking. Like, not thinking in the way we think, but, actually processing what you're saying and actually trying to come to a conclusion. And it gave me an answer. Like, it gave me a detailed answer of what would happen and yada, yada, yada. And that helps me then say, oh, snap. So this is how I need to write it. Which is such an amazing advantage I have now over writers that don't use AI, that might be like, I want to write this, but I don't know how to conceptualize it, or I don't know what the implications would be if I tweak this or tweak that, yada, yada, yada. Because, as a writer, you're constantly working in hypotheticals. What would happen if A, B, C, D took place, and so on and so forth. You're constantly operating in the realm of hypotheticals. And sometimes it's hard to progress when you don't know the answers to some of these hypothetical questions. And no matter how much research you do, sometimes these questions are so specific that, you know, you kind of just have to wing it and make stuff up. And that's how you sometimes end up with details in certain stories that don't make sense. And people are like, wait, that shouldn't happen because that wouldn't be possible because of X, Y, Z, and yada, yada, yada. But with AI, it kind of solves that problem for a lot of writers because, again, it's a lot of research that goes into this, guys. I was talking earlier about Red Dead Redemption 2, and one of the things Brock said it would have helped with in terms of speeding up the process is research and doing checks to make sure that the details of your research are historically accurate and so on and so forth. It would have saved a lot of time because a lot of research went into Red Dead Redemption 2. A lot, guys. You need to play the game to understand that these guys did their research. They really, really, really did a lot of research because there's so many details in that game that show you that, yeah, these people like did their homework. So you know that it took a lot of time when you look at that, but with Grok involved, it would have taken a lot less time. So same principles my writing. It's like, yeah, I could go on Google and pour through a lot of information and read certain books and all just to attain a paragraph's worth of information that I'm looking for or whatever. Or I could use AI and it could just feed the information directly to me in a matter of seconds, which is insane to think about. So that's one way I use it. Another way I use it is if I want references. So if I'm writing a particular scene that I need a reference for, and when I say reference, I just mean you want to know how to execute it. You want to know that what would that even look like. It can generate a scene for you, and you can read that scene and learn from it, and then create your own version of it. And you know, writers do this all the time. I read a book by Raymond E. Feist called Magician. He wrote this in the 90s back in the day, and he had a co-writer of sorts, not really a co-writer, but she helped him. This lady helped him plan his novel, helped him, and I think helped write some aspect of it. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there, but you know, he had help. And having that back and forth, that feedback, helps you to conceptualize the world you're trying to build. There's nothing wrong with receiving help in that way. That's one example of that. The more obvious example is every writer reads. Writers encourage that. The best writers will always encourage young authors coming up to read. Like read. Is that famous quote? I don't know if he said it. It's a bit hyperbolic. The quote was, great writers don't borrow, they steal. Some great artists don't borrow, they steal. Something like that. So obviously we're not encouraging people to steal other people's art. But I think he was making a point. It's like you need to be aggressive in terms of seeking out influence, in terms of learning from other people in your field. Because I think sometimes there's this pride element where it's like, I'm not willing to learn. I'm not willing to say that so-and-so inspired me. I'm not willing to say that I received any help because I want to say that I did everything myself. You can never say you did everything yourself. That's a fallacy. You're lying. Everyone receives help in one way or another. And I think I also experience that feeling of pride sometimes, but it's like, if I want to get ahead and be the best writer I can be, I have to use every resource available to me. On YouTube, I watched, there's this writer called Brandon Sanderson. He has writing lectures. He taught at a university and uploaded his lectures on his YouTube channel. He's a famous fantasy writer. He's very successful. And he had YouTube lectures. I was like, I'm going to take advantage of this. So I watched one of, because he put them out as series or something like that. He'd have a series of lectures. So I think I watched one of the series where he's just explaining different aspects of writing, whether it's how to structure your plot, how to design your characters, so on and so forth. And I watched all that. I mean, I don't know if I'm using any of the principles I learned from that right now because I have my own method, but it could be in your subconscious. You could download that sort of stuff into your own operating system, and it's just part of your system, and it gets integrated into an automatic process, and you don't even know that you're using that in your own actions, but it's there and it's running. Because that's how, when you're consuming a whole lot of information constantly, a lot of it just goes into your subconscious, and you end up like doing these things automatically without even realizing that it's like what software your brain is operating on. So I definitely have had help, a lot of help, and I'm fine with that because I need it. I used to think that I could write books without reading. I used to think that I can just come up with ideas by myself and I'll write the best books ever written. And I quickly realized it's a bunch of hogwash. It's a bunch of nonsense because it's very hard to write a book and I need all the help I can get. And when I started writing this pirate novel, I read a bunch of books. I read a lot of books. Not a lot, maybe like 4 or 5 or 6. Which, yeah, in the grand, some people, when they do research, they read like 100 books or something. Like, so compared to them, this is, I really didn't put in that much research, to be honest. It's actually kind of lazy. But anyway, I learned from those books. And I was like, oh snap, these are the conventions of the genre. And this is how you describe this, and this is how you go about this, and this is how they used to speak, and so on and so forth. And we learn so much from just reading. So when you talk about AI, I'm using it for the exact same purpose. It's the exact same thing. Generate a scene for me. Generate a scene for me to read from and learn from. Why that's different from books is, here's the difference. It's just less time. Because with a book, I'd have to parse through it to find what I'm looking for, if I know what I'm looking for. Whereas with AI, if I think to myself, what would happen if there was a scene where this happened, I can just ask the AI and it will generate this scene for me, and then I can learn from it directly. And it's a godsend, it's a blessing. And people say that it's stealing people's work to do that. But even, I don't think so, but even if it was, like I said, the goal is to just learn from it. It's not to copy paste, so whatever. But here's the thing about how AI generates its content and what it gives you. I think it's pulling from multiple sources to create a new thing. Because when you're asking a very niche, very specific questions, or giving a very specific prompt, and it comes up with something, that's not something you're going to find in someone else's novel. Like, you should see the prompts I generate, I feed into this thing. I think some people think, I'm not sure what they think. So when I give it a prompt to write a scene for me, I think some people think that maybe it's taking a page from someone's novel and just giving it to me as if it generated it. I think that's what some people think is going on, that's not what's going on at all. I think it's pulling from multiple sources and then creating something new from each of those sources and combining it. And it's learning. It's learning how did this writer write this. It learns the writer's style and incorporates it into something new that it generated, it's mind-blowing. So it is new content. Like, you're not going to find that specific thing anywhere else because there was a prompt given to it by me. So that is a new idea. That is a new scene that might be influenced by this writer and by multiple writers, but it's still a new scene. And if I had written it in that exact way, you could not take me and publish it in my book. You could not take me to court for plagiarism, for example. You couldn't do it because it doesn't exist. You didn't write that. The AI wrote it. So I do think that's important. When we get into image generation, I think that's where we can have a conversation with images. I think it's tricky. I don't know. Because even then it's the question, because if it's a new composition in terms of like just overall, but maybe one element can be recognized, like, oh, that's my car that I drew in that image or something like that. Maybe there's grounds for plagiarism there. I'm not sure. If I say generate an image of a car driving through a street, so maybe you as an artist created a 3D model of a car, and then you end up finding your 3D model in some AI image of a car driving through a city. Maybe. But I don't know if that's what it does. I think it generates even the car from the ground up, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I just genuinely think people just need to accept that AI is a thing, guys. It's a thing. It's here. And we need to embrace it. We should have regulations around it just to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. But I think people are doing that. And regardless, we need to embrace it. If you want to get ahead in this changing landscape, you have to embrace it. You have to. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm having fun. I'm having the time of my life. It's fun for me. And it's making my job easier. And once again, everything is 100% written by me. But I'm using this tool to speed up my process, to help me learn, to gain inspiration, all these sort of things that I was doing anyway with other tools. But now with this specific tool, the only difference is it's just way more efficient and it saves me time. So yeah, it would be wise, all of us would be wise to adopt these tools for ourselves. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know that's great at the end of the video, so dear Father God, I thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making home, looking down and fall through this peace, prosperity, and breakfast. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful, good life. We love them, take care of them, and bring the absolute best out of them. Thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage. Just staying that love and marriage and making me very, very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with a spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for the wonderful things in their life. And by giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and try to even more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life. So let your God, let your will, let your love, and rest be there for good health, long life, and happiness for this person. Don't let me care about your mind and pain.